504-4545.
Watch Off the Clock today at 2 on KTLA 5.
Now at noon, crisis response teams are at Anaheim High School after a driver crashed into a group of student athletes. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. They were waiting at a stoplight when the car jumped the curb.
KTLA 5's Orange County Bureau Chief Chip Yost live now in Anaheim with more on this developing story. Chip?
Yeah, hello there. Yeah, those students who were injured were members of the cross-country team who were out for a practice run a little earlier. The principal of Anaheim High School gave us an update on how they're doing. This is video of the moment that members of the Anaheim High School cross-country team were struck by an alleged drunk driver. Much of the aftermath was also caught on camera as first responders set up a mass casualty response to tend to all the injured. In all, 7 students were taken to the hospital.
The good thing is all 7 sustained non-life-threatening injuries. They're still being assessed for other injuries such as lacerations, potential fractures. 4 students have been released. Still waiting on 3 more. I'll be contacting families again this morning and see how they're doing. We are having a crisis response team here all day to provide support for our students, our staff during this difficult time.
The driver of the car, identified by police as 27-year-old Anthony Alva Palafox of Anaheim, was later arrested and accused of being under the influence of alcohol and drugs. It's just the latest in a string of recent Orange County DUIs, including 2 that were fatal. Last month, 13-year-old Luis Morales Pacheco was killed by a driver who was allegedly under the influence. And in October, bicyclist Eric Williams was killed by another driver in Huntington Beach. To give you an idea of how prevalent driving under the influence is, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration earlier this year put out a report of statistics from 2023. In 2023, there were 12,429 people killed in accidents involving at least one driver who was believed to be under the influence of alcohol. Put another way, that was one person killed every 42 minutes. Reporting now in Anaheim, I'm Chip Yost, KTLA 5 News.
All right, thank you, Chip. The man accused of killing his father, opera singer Jubilant Sykes, is expected to be arraigned in an L.A. courtroom today. Police say 31-year-old Micah Sykes fatally stabbed the 71-year-old Grammy-nominated singer inside his Santa Monica home Monday night. Micah Sykes was arrested and booked on homicide charges and remains behind bars on $2 million bail. A motive for the stabbing remains unclear, but a neighbor told us Micah struggled with homelessness and mental health issues. A new report card from the nation's leading group of civil engineers shows California needs to make big improvements to its infrastructure.
The state got a C- grade for things ranging from the roads and bridges to waterways and the electrical grid. KTLA 5's Omar Lewis is in downtown LA with more. Hi, Omar.
Good afternoon, Lou and Glenn. Yeah, that new report says that California's infrastructure is barely passing. And while the state received an overall grade of a C-, our roads out there, they received a D grade, with engineers warning that years of underinvestment are finally catching up with drivers. Want to break down those scores for you here this afternoon. The American Society of Civil Engineers 2025 report card says California's infrastructure systems are adequate for now, but vulnerable to breakdowns. Ports and rail are the bright spots, both earning B grades, with aviation at B-. These parts of the infrastructure system, they say, are generally handling demand well. In the middle of the pack, wastewater scoring a C+ and hazardous waste a C, while bridges and transit came in at C-, functional but showing their age, according to engineers. The big trouble areas are the ones most people feel every single day. Roads got a D, along with energy, stormwater, and inland and waterways. Drinking water, public schools, and parks were only slightly better, coming in at D+, meaning they're still falling short of what engineers consider reliable and resilient. Engineers say nearly 30% of California's roads are in poor condition, worse than the national average. They estimate drivers collectively pay billions of dollars a year in extra repairs, tires, and fuel because of rutted pavement and congestion. Commuters who we spoke to today say that D grade does not come as a surprise.
My husband complains about the potholes, yeah. Those need to be fixed. So yeah, in our area, I live in Ontario, so we have a lot of potholes that need to be fixed.
And they don't get it done soon enough and fast enough, but they take a long time for the potholes. That's my main concern. In San Bernardino especially.
Engineers blame a long-term funding gap, more than $200 billion over the next 10 years for transportation alone, and California's lengthy permitting and environmental review process, which they say can delay urgent projects and drive up costs. The report recommends more stable long-term funding, streamlined rules, and better use of new technology to keep up with climate extremes and population growth. State leaders, though, they point to some new money already on the table. This week, the California Transportation Commission approved $1.1 billion for zero-emission buses, new charging stations, safer local streets, and bridge and highway repairs. Governor Gavin Newsom says the biggest challenge now is moving faster.
We have got to get out of our own damn way. We're paralyzed by process, in litigation, in NIMBYism, and people, frankly, taking advantage.
And many of the commuters who we spoke to today here at Union Station say they take public transit so they avoid any of those infrastructure issues behind the wheel and leave it to the drivers here today. That is the latest for now. Live from Union Station, I'm Omar Lewis. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Omar, thank you. LA Mayor Karen Bass is asking the city council to increase the LAPD budget, hoping to put more police on the streets.
The mayor says if the funds are not approved, the LAPD workforce will fall to its lowest levels in 20 years. KTLA5's Kimberly Chang live in the newsroom with the details. Kimberly.
Glenn Luhai, the mayor said the city needs enough officers to keep Angelino safe in the coming years, especially when millions of visitors will be in town for major upcoming events like the FIFA World Cup and Olympic Paralympic Games. Mayor Karen Bass urged the city council to allocate $4.4 million for the LA Police Department budget. This would allow the department to hire more than 400 officers for this fiscal year ending June 2025. She sent a letter to council saying the #1 job as city leaders is to keep Angelino safe. Now, the mayor said LA cannot have an effective police department with 8,300 officers, a level compared to 1995. She compared LA to other major cities, noting that LAPD has roughly 2 officers per 1,000 residents, while Chicago and New York have double that, with about 4 officers per 1,000 residents. In May, council signed off on a $14 billion spending plan for 2025 to 2026. The city was faced with a budget deficit of close to $1 billion, and council voted for a plan that cut funding for LAPD recruitment. Bass said when she signed that budget, they agreed to identify additional funding to restore officer hiring. Now, in this letter, the mayor did not identify a source for that additional LAPD funding.
Yes, sir. Right.
Bass said LAPD has received a record number of applicants, and without the funding, she said the department will stop hiring and there will be no new cadets in the police academy in January. The LA Police Protective League, which represents thousands of LAPD personnel, sent a statement saying Mayor Bass is right and city council should act now to fund police hiring so that the January police academy won't be canceled, adding that 56 recruits have already spent the last year going through extensive and costly background process, and hundreds of others are in the pipeline. Now, we have reached out to LA City Council members for comment, and we haven't heard back yet. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
Kimberly, thank you. The LAPD is responding after a crosswalk sting in Woodland Hills was caught on video.
Yeah, the video was shared on social media with some crying foul.
So y'all gotta check this out. On Ventura Boulevard in Woodland Hills, the cops are hiding in parking lots and hiring people to illegally walk across the street, and whoever passes them, like this guy in blue, whoever passes them gets a ticket, just like this guy in white. That is illegal. Look at these two. And then whoever passes them, they get pulled over. Look at the cop.
This was yesterday morning on the 21,500 block of West Ventura Boulevard. LAPD Valley Division officials confirmed that plainclothes officers posed as pedestrians jaywalking, adding that 50 to 60 drivers were cited for not yielding to a pedestrian in an unmarked crosswalk. They say the sting is necessary because in this year in the valley alone, they've investigated 39 fatal traffic collisions involving pedestrians. 150 investigations involve severe injuries to pedestrians.
I would not want that job of being random pedestrian. It's like putting yourself in harm's way all day.
I mean, but are they trying to do this as a deterrent? Because not everybody in the valley drives down that street.
Yeah,
so,
not sure.
You know.
All right, Olga, hi, good to see you. Beautiful day.
It is another beautiful day and another sunny day. We're running a good 10, 15 to nearly even 20 degrees above what we typically feel this time of year. So more 70s and 80s this afternoon, more sunshine even along the coastline. We're seeing those weak offshore winds, so that's pushing all that cloud cover off the coast and bringing us a beautiful day with temperatures in the upper 70s as we head into the 1 o'clock hour. And then by the afternoon, we'll still continue in the upper 70s, low 70s and upper 60s as we head into dinner time. Inland Empire, Palm Springs, you're going to get into the 80s this afternoon with low 70s and upper 60s as we head into the evening hours. So here's a look at more of your highs. We're going to be in the 80s for much of the Inland Empire today, as well as some of our valleys through the San Gabriel Valley. Feeling 83 in Pasadena today, 83 in Thousand Oaks, with low 70s in San Clemente as well as in Lancaster. So temperatures, again, very warm for this time of year and a little breezy, but just very isolated in nature. We're seeing those gusty winds out through the I-5 corridor impacting places like the Santa Clarita Valley.